Okay. I just didn't want to hit go live before we were ready.
Sure. No, we're good.
Okay. It's setting up. It's doing its thing.
Okay, honey. Thank you.
Yeah,
How
no
are you?
worries.
Yeah.
I'm well.
Good. Nice to see you again.
Okay, it says that we are live, so
Okay. It's my turn now to play host. Yeah?
yeah. And what I'm gonna
Wonderful.
do, I'm gonna get on my phone real quick and go on your Facebook and share it to my timeline. So it's
Yes,
all
please.
not my timeline. Okay.
That's groovy. We can.
Groovy, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Technology.
Oh, it's not loading your page. This has been happening on Facebook recently. I'll go to
Okay.
certain pages and they don't load.
Huh.
Well,
Okay.
you know.
Well, we can just have a lovely. No, I have you. I have you. You're smiling. You're laughing. There's me.
Yeah, I just wanted to stream it from mine too, but
Yeah.
you're not loading, so all right. All good.
So I've got us. You don't have us. Your people don't have us.
That's correct.
Oh, okay.
Unless we share people.
We might.
I think we have some community in common.
Yes, I'm sure we must.
Yeah.
People that have good taste on both sides of the Atlantic.
So what do we want? What kind of love are we going to share today, my friend?
Well, let's say welcome, Susie Baylor. This is a great joy for me to be with you again, my new friend. We had a fabulous chat the other day, and you were good enough to pretend that I know something. Now it's your turn to pretend that you know something. Yeah. So you're going to tell us all your secrets and tips and tricks and magical stories, and tell us about you, how you got to be the blazing bright light of love that you truly are. Tell us about yourself, how you got on the spiritual path, and you introduce yourself to my crew, and then we'll post this, of course, to your page. And apologies to people who wanted to get on with us here on your page.
Okay, so I grew up Mennonite, which is part of the Christian religion.
Right, I saw that. Yeah.
It's sort of similar to Amish. Mennonites are, they're very liberal Mennonites and very conservative Mennonites, and we fell somewhere in the middle, kind of more on the conservative side. And so I grew up with religion, I grew up with God, and I always had a very deep connection with God. My connection was more than just religion. It was a spiritual, like I could feel the presence of God. I could feel the divine. I could feel that. And I was always connected with that from a very young age.
Beautiful. What a gift.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
Clears up a lot of confusion, that, Susie.
Growing up in that way really helped to ground me.
Right.
I think if I was born into a hippie family, I would have been so scattered and just everywhere, probably hopped up on drugs because of my sensitivities. And
okay. Now you're telling my story, you see.
Okay.
Yes.
Growing up that way gave me boundaries and structure and protection, all of which were very important to my current journey. When I went through many health challenges. Pretty much from the time I was born, I was challenged with ill health. Often.
Right.
And the most intense, I'll say worst part was in my young 20s when I developed adrenal burnout or chronic fatigue syndrome.
Right.
And I remember being with my doctor, and he was a chiropractor, and he just happened to specialize in chronic fatigue. And he would talk to me about, my life and how I was going to manage this illness.
Yes.
Speaking in terms of, when I'm 80 years old, I'll still be managing this illness. And, I should get married and have someone to take care of me because this was going to be something I'd have to live with for the rest of my life. And there was something inside of me that was like, no, that is not.
Yeah.
No, I don't accept that. That
right.
is
Good for you.
that is not how it's going to be. And so I kept seeking alternative medicine because Western medicine wasn't doing anything for me. So I just
Yeah.
looking, and I was sort of at my wit's end, and I was like, well, I haven't tried acupuncture. Maybe that's something.
Okay.
Maybe that could, let me just
Right.
try this one more thing,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
try one more time.
Right.
And I did. And it was all, of course, divine alignment, divine guidance. I
Right.
ended up with this man who really knew what he was doing in
Yeah.
many senses of
Right.
practicing medicine. He really knew many layers of the spiritual part of what was going on,
Beautiful.
as well as the physical and the emotional, just all of it. And it was session number 6 when I was on his table
Wow.
where I had my awakening.
Really?
And suddenly I knew I was healed. I knew I
Wow.
didn't have chronic fatigue anymore. Everything in my body turned on. Everything shifted in that one moment.
Wow.
And it was blissful for 2 weeks. I was just on a high, it was like,
Right.
finally, the life I want. Finally, I don't have to live in suffering. Finally, I had such high hopes for how my life was going to be. And then after 2 weeks, then I had to start doing the real work.
Sure. You came crashing back to earth, bless your heart. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
bless my heart.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
came plummeting down.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So when you ask how I got to be the bright, shiny person that I am today,
Yeah.
it's the inner work. Yeah, that was
Wow.
an amazing moment where I had my awakening. But the more powerful moments have been the moments where I'm down on my knees, crying, sobbing, pleading with my soul.
Sure.
Those have been the powerful moments where I've gone deep, deep, deep into the pain, into the suffering, into the confusion, and come
Yeah.
out the other side because I was willing to go there.
Right. 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 Very good. I hear you. Yes. Well, that was exhausting.
I
No, I'm teasing you. You're amazing. So, all right, you had the healing crisis followed by your spiritual awakening, which threw on all the light in your light body, your soul, your spirit, your higher self. And then tell us about the chapters after that.
Yeah, well, you said it's exhausting. It was exhausting. It has
Okay.
been at times.
Yeah.
One of the things that I like to share with people is that this work can be hard. This work can be challenging. There are a lot of spiritual bypasses out there that will tell you, this can be easy and you just push this button or you just do this and la la la, and
Right.
there are moments where things can shift in an instant and things
Sure.
can be easy. And
Sure.
there are moments where things can be hard and things can be challenging. And I certainly don't want to create that for anyone. But the truth is, to
Right.
go deep into the shadow and to heal yourself, it takes
Yes.
a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of discipline. And
Yes.
people just don't want to do that and don't want to go there.
Sure. Sure. Although I hear you, my friend. I've had all of that, and yeah, it's the more we're able, willing, or surrendered to go into, like, here's the way my guides say it. They say, face your fears, feel your feelings, find your freedom.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, sometimes we absolutely have to do that because often we're unconsciously in these old patterns that we haven't been able to confront or encounter in order to forgive and release and take responsibility for what we're holding on to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look, not everyone had the same karma to transmute than I did. So maybe not everyone will have that really challenging experience that I did. Maybe other work was done in other lifetimes, other realms, other realities. We can't really compare our journeys to another. But
Sure.
for those people who are with us and who feel the pain of being on this journey, I want you to know you're not alone.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
know what it is to go deep in the pain, and I
Yeah.
can do it. It's doable. If I can do
That's
it,
right.
if I can do it with all my deep sensitivities, you can do it. Trust me, you can do
Right.
it.
Right. Brilliant. Brilliant. So how do you, that's gorgeous. So how do you like to work with people when you're holding a space for healing them and helping them to move through their pain, Susie?
Yeah, well, first, I don't heal them. I honor them as the being that heals themselves, and I'm the one that facilitates and holds space.
Very
So
good.
I do like to hold that deep space, and I do like going deep because it is in the depth that we really find the gold, and we find the shadow, we find the light, we find what's really needed so that
Yeah.
we can transmute it. And when I talk
Yeah.
about transmuting, I'm talking about bringing love to it. So with the space that I hold, I bring love to it. I invite the client to bring love to it. And
Yes.
that's how we work through it. So
Sure.
it can be, that's just sort of the overall container that I create. And then it could be through channeling, through spiritual guidance, through coaching, whatever the person needs. Sometimes it's sound healing, whatever the person needs in the moment. If it's in my tool bag, I'll use it.
Great. Great.
Yeah.
Well, it's yeah. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, as I'm sure that's what you do. And that's
Yeah.
what any good practitioner does. Whatever tool they have, they'll use it.
Exactly. Exactly. Tell me about your channeling. How does that work for you? How did that open up?
Okay. So it's funny, I just told this story yesterday.
Well, so
Um,
you're all practiced now.
I was in California with a client, and she has a son who is failure to thrive, but he's very, very powerful. He's this powerful being, he can't take care of himself or do anything physical for himself, but energy, his energy is profound, and just sitting with him, you're transformed. So Max, my partner Max, and I, we sat with him for hours, and we cried, and I spoke with him telepathically, and we just, he activated us, and we just had this beautiful experience.
Wow.
After the trip, when we got home, Max asked me a question like, why does everything feel like it's complete? Why do I feel complete with everything? And I started giving him this answer about stuff that I don't know about.
Sure.
And I was
Yeah.
like, this is not my voice, who is this? Who is this speaking through me?
Okie dokie.
And the answer was immediate. The answer was Prime Creator.
Okay.
We were like, okay, so who are you, Prime Creator? Who is this? And as was shared with us in subsequent messages, Prime Creator is the highest vibrations of love and light. And the energy is not an entity, it's not a being.
Sure.
So it's very hard for us to kind of wrap our heads around that sometimes. Like, people want to compare Prime Creator to God, or but we're using language to describe things, so we have to find something that can put it in a box so that we understand.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. Yeah. To F the ineffable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So that was that your first experience of channeling this energy?
That energy, yes. That was my first experience with
Okay. All right. Had you channeled before?
I think I had, in some ways.
Right.
We're all channels, right?
Sure.
We're all channels for whatever we choose to allow to come through us.
Sure. Sure.
And so I don't remember exactly the energies or entities I had worked with before. It feels like such a lifetime ago. But sure. I'm pretty sure I had channeled something before that. And actually, looking back in retrospect, I had made affirmations at the very beginning of my spiritual awakening. I had sticky notes all over my apartment. Okay. And they said things like, I am the purest channel of love and light. I am a channel for love. I am a channel for the divine. I am a channel for the highest love. I would had all these things on sticky notes around my apartment. And I didn't know at the time really what I was affirming or what I was saying, consciously. My soul knew, of course.
Sure.
But I set those affirmations, and then that inner work that I spoke about earlier, that was what I was doing, the purifying myself, and going to the depths to release those programs and patterns that no longer serve. So I was in that purification stage for a long time.
Right. Yeah.
Still am. It's,
Well, yes, it's a never-ending dance. I agree with that. Absolutely, absolutely. Um, yeah, it's beautiful to hear all this. Um, once my guides say activation, integration, manifestation. So as we have these moments of transcendence and transformation, then everything's opened up as you described, and we reconnect with the universe, and we remember who we are. We get a fleeting glimpse for a little while, a taste of who we are, and we go, oh yeah, right, that's who I am. Wow, I forgot. And you feel amazing, and you're like walking on air, floating on a cloud. And then, yes, of course, we must come back to planet Earth because that's why we're here. And so then, my guides say we have a foot in each world. So I mean, I always felt this energetic connection with you. Every time I would look at you, or read about you on Facebook, I go, wow, there's something going on there, that really feels very familiar for some reason. And honestly, I mean, it's why I'm so happy to be connecting with you and getting to know you and becoming friends. You really do put yourself out there, as I do, because we're like, look, folks, I have a message, and I may not always get it perfectly right, but I'm just going to keep putting it out there because you need to understand what's going on. So can you talk a little bit about perhaps like your workshops and the events and some of the things that you do in Sedona and this kind of thing?
yeah, the thing that I do, the biggest thing that I do here, most of my work is online. Most of my work is international. But
Okay.
the thing that I do here is spiritual retreats. And
Okay.
these are not, fluffy, like, let's go to a spa day and have a retreat in Sedona. This is come with what you want to transform,
Right.
come with
Right.
what you want to heal.
Right.
And so that's what happens. We do the shadow work, we do the light work, we come together as soul family. I mean, it's pretty amazing every time, the people that show up are the exact people that are meant to be here.
Right on. Yeah.
There's usually a connection amongst all of them, and
Mm-hmm.
it's very special to form the bond because the retreats are small. They're 10 people or less, so
Okay.
it's not like a big
Yeah.
conference. It's an intimate
Yeah.
gathering.
Yeah. That's a good signs. That's a good signs, to do this kind of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you get men and women, or is it mostly women?
Men and women.
Very
Yeah.
good. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Nice
Yeah.
to hear that. So like if someone came to you for a one-to-one session, Susie,
Yeah.
tell us about what that looks like as well, how you'd like to work with people.
Most people that come for one-on-ones come for a channeling session.
Right.
And that again is for the purposes of healing. It's not to get like a psychic reading.
Yeah.
And tell me my future.
Right.
It's to come to get some information, some clarification about what someone can do to heal, what someone can do to move forward on their path, on their journey. So we start out with the channeling, and then I bring in my human perspective afterwards and give people some practical tools and things to work with, ongoing outside of the session.
Oh, very good. I do it the opposite way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Yeah, we finish channeling as dessert, and me and my client chatting, that's dinner,
You can have dessert first.
Yeah, well, that's good too. No, that's lovely. I'm a big fan of dinner and dessert, I promise. But it's funny, we do that in a different order,
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, sure. So when you're channeling, of course, you're bringing through the energy and the messages that people need to hear in order to heal what it is that they're looking for healing about.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you, my friend, this is a joy. I'm just gonna hang out with you all day long here.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about the recent energies right now that you're experiencing in your clients as we've come into the last quarter of this year. I don't know if you saw on my Facebook, I got my permission to stay in Ireland today, which I've been working on.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very much for about 2.5 years formally. Yes. So that was a lot of suspense finally resolved. And today I'm an honorary Irishman at last, which feels great after being here all this time. And
Do you feel
So,
grounded?
oh yeah, I feel yes, absolutely, absolutely. I feel just probably a dozen things. Relieved, excited, liberated, validated to some extent. Boundaries. Yes, I'm respecting those. Taking care of business. Yes, I've gotten better about that. Taking responsibility for all my decisions. Yes, I've danced with all of that to get to this point. So yeah, this has been I got my merit badge today is how it feels. So
So
it's
happy
very
for you.
nice. Thank you. Thank you. But so I wanted to ask you, what do you feel about the energies that are unfolding right now, the last part of this year, or this year in general, if you like?
Man, there's so many layers to what's going on, Lou. One of the things I'm seeing is women and issues with worthiness
Right.
and myself included. I say surprisingly because I've worked on it for so long. It's like, how is that still there?
I thought I was done with that. I thought I was completely, utterly, totally no. No.
Well, when you do quantum leaps to the next level, then you
Yes.
like find remnants, things that are deeper, or things that
Yeah. Yeah.
didn't apply at the level before, but they apply
Right.
now because you're going bigger.
Sure.
Um,
Sure. My guide sweetheart say you don't get finished, you get better.
that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there we go.
If we're finished, then we're not on this planet anymore.
Exactly. We're that's right. That's right.
Uh,
So, but
so
you're talking, I really relate. Sorry, you're talking about women and worth. And that's something I see very deeply in all my sessions with women, especially, of course.
I don't know if it's happening with men or not. I'm not as
Not
connected,
yet.
but not yet.
No, no, that's why I was asking you what's the makeup of your retreats and your sessions, etc. Because for me, it is mostly women still.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I definitely have men who are doing the inner work, and I'm
Right.
guiding and helping with that. But for the theme of what's happening this fall, this is something that I'm seeing emerging,
Yeah.
where women are stepping more into their worth. They're
Yes.
realizing that they haven't been valuing themselves. They're struggling, or they're wanting to feel more worthy.
Sure.
And there's like this divine feminine thing that's like summoning,
Yeah.
like remember who you are as the
Right.
divine feminine. And I can say this to men too, this isn't just for women.
Sure.
Remember
Sure.
who you are as the divine feminine, and know how precious and valuable that is.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
many women, you know mothers or women without children, they're giving and they're taking care of everyone else, and they don't realize how valuable that is.
Right. Right. I agree. I 100% agree. Yeah. Yeah.
And I recently had someone come in who was, questioning her value because she felt like she wasn't doing enough. She wasn't doing enough to help the children, or the rape victims, or the whatever, all the things that are happening on our planet. She felt like she
Yeah.
wasn't doing enough. And I was like, and here's this woman with just this presence of unconditional love and nurturing, and I'm like, do you realize how valuable that is to a
Yes.
child who just
Yeah.
needs a hug? Like, that is so precious.
Yes.
And we all have that within us, whether we're men, whether we're women. We all have that capability to bring the divine feminine through.
Yes. Yes.
And to give.
To me, it's the essence of it really is compassion.
Yeah.
You know, I quite agree. I mean, I'm actually doing in November, Susie. I'm doing a class for 4 Saturdays, 1 hours each, on women in anger, because this particularly after watching the Kavanaugh Christine Ford debacle, catastrophe, whatever you want to call it. I mean, what human being who is not sleepwalking could look at that and not be enraged and go, wow, this is really wrong. This is just really wrong.
I'm glad you said that, because I wanted to add to the conversation. It's not, the divine feminine is not just about compassion and warmth and nourishing and sweetness. The divine feminine also brings a fire. She brings
Sure.
a righteous anger. She brings
Kali.
a powerful energy. Yeah. So sometimes people who are going through the suffering, they want the hug and they want the warmth and they want the compassion and the nice feeling.
Yeah.
But that's not always what the divine feminine brings.
Yeah, no, sometimes it's righteous anger. I mean, this has really been every woman that I've worked with. Here's the way my guides have taught me. The rules of the world have been that women are allowed to be sad but can't be angry, and men are allowed to be angry but can't be sad. So men need to open our hearts, and women need to open our mouths, and use our voices, and speak the truth. And sometimes it's going to be anger. This is not okay. Yeah. I'm not okay with this. I do not accept this. Yeah, of course, California is named after Kali. That was one little detail I learned somewhere along the line.
Oh,
Kali,
I didn't know
yes,
that.
yes. So yes, this is like you're saying, it's the sacredness of all of life. Yes, feminine energy is not just sweet, kind, and nurturing. I take your point absolutely. It's also, righteous indignation in defense of the value of life.
Yeah.
And willing to speak up for that, men and women.
Yeah. And I want to keep answering your original question because
Sure.
you just covered like one layer of what the
Sure.
hell.
Yes, I hear you. Yeah. One veil. One veil. Yes.
The overall thing that's happening from my perspective is this tremendous amount of light that's flooding our planet.
Right.
What that light does is it exposes all the shadow, it exposes all the darkness, it exposes all the things that have been hidden for so long.
Yes.
And it appears to people as chaos. It appears to people as debacles, as you just described. It appears to people that things are going down the crapper.
Tragedy.
But that's just the surface appearance. What's actually happening is all of that is coming to the surface, coming into the light, so that we can heal and transmute it.
Quite agree. Yeah.
Because how many women are now using their voice and standing up and speaking their truth because of the Me Too movement, all of these things that are happening. It's all because we're seeing the behind the scenes stuff that's been hidden from us for so long. And I don't accept this anymore.
Right.
We're going to do it differently from here on out.
Yes. Good. I'm with you, sister. Righteous indignation in service to a greater love and light for the planet.
Yeah. So we're going through a tremendous transition.
Right.
And we're in the heat of it right now. I mean, this is where this can be a tricky part on our planet right now, because this is where people can really be distracted by the chaos,
right,
and buy into it and create more, and that's what the shadow wants us to do.
Right.
Or if we have an understanding of what's going on, we can say, no, I'm not engaging with those energies. I'm creating this thing that's of the light, and I'm going to focus on that. And this is where we really need the divine masculine to step up and to rise up within us, because the divine masculine can keep us focused.
Absolutely. Bless you. This just gets better and better, my friend. My guides say, so the divine feminine is the spirit and the emotion, which is below the surface, and it's always changing, and it's always in movement, and it's never still. And then the masculine so that's the garden. Yeah. And the masculine is the gate around the garden and the gatekeeper. And the masculine says, I trust you. I believe in you. I let you into my garden. I don't trust you. I don't believe in you. I have to keep you out of my garden. So it's that protection and strength and nurturing and focus that then helps the divine feminine to be free to bloom and blossom and to flourish and to flower.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have been so blessed to have a sacred masculine like that in my life. Max.
Yeah.
Just kind of what you described. Like, he allows me to flourish, allows me to blossom and bloom. He encourages it. He celebrates it.
Good man.
And there's this energetic protection that's around me.
Yes.
His presence. And I'm so blessed. I'm so supported.
I'm thrilled. I'm delighted. And that's, of course, my friend, because you have uncovered, as you said, You know, you've gone through the uncovering, the healing, the awakening of your gifts and your goodness, beauty, and truth, is the phrase Lazarus uses, so that, you know, Max can see you for the magical, powerful woman that you truly are, and support that and encourage that.
And I've shown myself and the universe time and time again how committed I am to my mission. And that's where a lot of people get a little lost or a little stuck.
Sure.
They step into it a little bit and then they kind of go back in hiding, or, you know, they do a dance with it
Sure.
instead of being all in. You know, I'm all in.
Yeah,
Whatever
baby.
that means, whatever that looks like, I'm
Yeah,
all in.
I'm with you.
There's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
there's not a part of me that's not in. And if there is, I'll find it and transmute it. Like, that's how I operate.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's what we need. I'm sharing this about myself because it's an invitation, it's a call for other women, for other men to step into their mission and do the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not
I
a
hear
brag.
you.
It's not to say I'm so great because I'm doing this. I'm sharing this because I'm like saying, please
Right.
step up and do this. You have it within you.
Yes. Yes. A couple quotes that relate to what you've said so beautifully and eloquently, my friend. My guides say, here it is, everyone. Partial commitment, partial freedom. Total commitment, total freedom. Yeah. So, yeah. And then Springsteen says, courage and desperation look much the same from the outside.
Huh.
So, you know, it's that when you only have one path, then you commit yourself to it and it reveals the next step to you. One step reveals the next step. But as you say, you know, the other one, Steve Faubert, says you cannot win if you do not play. Yeah. So, you know, we don't know everything. I mean, we know the next step. You know, when you take one step, then the next step is shown to you. And you're quite right. I mean, a lot of people, you know, to come back to your point about worth, and for men and women around these spiritual values, most of the clients that I work with, I'd be interested in your feedback about this as well, are very gifted, talented people who have great natural spiritual affinity and abilities, but they don't have the confidence in themselves to really trust that or assert that more into their lives. And that's the fine tuning that I do with most of the people that I work with. Is that your experience at all?
Oh, yeah. Very rarely do you start off with full confidence. I don't know anyone who starts off with 100% confidence.
Sure.
I get at 100%.
Right.
Like,
right.
It's a daily, you're constantly working with that. You trust in your abilities, and you pay attention. What kind of results are my people getting?
Right.
You reflect inward. Am I being of integrity? You know, it's not it's not just like full on confidence 24/7. In fact, I would say it's healthy to not be, you know, semantics here maybe, but it's healthy perhaps to not have full confidence, because then maybe you'll do some self-reflection and looking at yourself and always evaluating.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, that's where we need to be very honest and sincere with ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And ask for guidance, clarity, healing, inspiration, all of that, you know.
And maybe I'm actually talking about being cocky, which is different than being confident.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lazarus has a beautiful definition of confidence I want to share with you. You liked my other Lazarus definition the other day so much. They say confidence is the awareness that you have access to the resources within you that can make any situation meaningful.
Love it. Yes. Yeah.
So yum, yum, yum.
So good.
Yeah. So, I mean, that
goes back to value.
Yes, go on.
When you value yourself, when you know that you have worth, you'll have the confidence to know that what you have within you, those resources, are going to be worth something, that those resources are valuable.
Sure.
If you don't value what's innate within you, then you won't demonstrate confidence.
Right. You're actually reminding me of another thing from my guides when we were talking the other day, about how to bring our spiritual values and wisdom and gifts and abilities into the world and allow it to be a way that we can support ourselves in doing more of what we love. My guides use the phrase spiritualize the economy.
Okay, say more.
Which is very much what we're talking about here, which is like, again, to come to the divine feminine which exists in men and women. As we all say, healing is valuable, trusting our inner guidance is valuable, having some dimension of connection to a loving higher power, whatever you choose to call it, is valuable. As we keep beating that drum and saying, this is me, this is what I'm about, this is Susie, this is what she's about, we're saying, this is valuable. And then as people go, yes, you're right, what you brought into my life is meaningful and valuable, thank you for that, here's my donation. So yeah, it's it's opening the door, isn't it, to allow all these woo-woo values, my favorite term, into the greater world. That like I just filling out a medical card here with my friends at the office, and they're saying the Irish government now covers alternative healing, and I'm like, isn't that interesting? Yes, yes. So I could go see a naturopath or whatever I like, an acupuncturist or a chiropractor. Yeah. So, that is a paradigm shift. There you go,
Love it. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Let
This
me
is
ask you this. Are you working with a lot of younger people, or are you seeing more younger people kind of come into this vibration?
I'm seeing more younger people coming into this vibration. I'm not working with a lot of them yet, but I feel like something is shifting with my work where that could be a very real possibility, because some of these young people that are coming in, they're so beautifully loving and delightful and sweet and
Open.
pure,
Yeah.
just have these amazing light codes and wisdom for us from the places from which they've come.
Right.
And yet they don't necessarily know how to navigate being on this planet and working with their gifts in this kind of density. And some of them aren't used to this kind of density because they're just so, beautifully pure and wonderful.
Yes.
And so I have a
Innocent.
lot to share with them
Right. Right.
about how to be here on this planet.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, if I could just do this all day long, my friend, but we'll probably head towards the finish line here in a little bit. Is there anything else you want to share with us or leave us with? Your website, your next event, any of that?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I can do that too. I have two websites, susiebeiler.com, SUSIEBEILER.com, and creationtemple.com. That's a membership website where all of the resources that I have are on that site, all the meditations, all the DNA activations, all the spiritual teachings, all the channeled messages. Like there's so many tools on that site.
Brilliant.
Creationtemple.com. And our next retreat is happening April 11th through the 14th here in Sedona. And that retreat is Codes of Creation. So it's all about helping you be the powerful creator that you are, awakening that within you, and bringing more of that to your everyday life. And, not just living your life on autopilot, but really coming into your power and knowing yourself as a creator, as someone that has power, as someone that can affect change on this planet.
Yes.
That's really my parting message, is that, we are much more powerful than we realize. And just so you're all clear, when I say this to you, I'm saying it to myself as well.
Sure. Sure.
We're way more powerful than we realize. And we're stepping into a time where the invitation and the call is to really rise up into that power and to really claim it for ourselves, because that's why we came to the planet. We didn't come here to observe. We didn't come here to, be in the peanut gallery and watch from the back seats. We came here to be on the front lines, to create something new, to change the way things have been done on this planet for eons of time. we're the ones with the power. The power is quickly shifting into the energy of the light. And so we're here to do it. We're the practical, boots in the ground, hands in the dirt, however you want to say it, we're the ones doing it. And so I really, if you're with us today or watching the replay, I really strongly call you into that, remembering who you are as a powerful creator. Remember who you are as a powerful being, and how much of that power are you willing to flow through you so that we can create something new on this planet. Just like take a moment right now and ask yourself that question. How much power am I willing to allow to flow through me so that I can create change on this planet? And just feel your heart and feel your soul with that question. Allow yourself to really feel that question. How much power am I willing to allow to flow through me to create change on this planet? And if you've misused power before, you can change that. You can heal that. Don't let that stop you from using it now. Part of your power is the ability to transmute, to bring love to that which needs love, to bring love to things that you misused or did wrong or whatever in your past. If you're willing to let that be and to move on, you really can change yourself and be the powerful being that you came here on this planet to be, and use the power in the ways that your heart and soul mission are directing you to use it. We're all capable of that. And thank you, Lou, for having me in this conversation.
Beautiful.
Today.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
We have to do this again real soon. You're a joy. That was a gorgeous process. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. All right, Susie BB, all my love, hugs and kisses to you and Mad Max. Thank you. Yeah. And we'll chat again soon. Thank you so much for helping this to happen today. It's a delight. We'll do it again real soon.
Yeah, thank you, Lou. Thank you.
All right.